Today's topic on which I have to deliberate today is decentralization of waste management, a novel initiative by SKUAST Kashmir incubated startup. So this is a very off type word used in residue management, that is decentralization. First of all, I will introduce myself to the panel members. I am Dr. Uwais Ali Wani, young scientist, SKUAST Kashmir. I am also waste management ambassador to principal scientific advisor to Government of India, and I am innovation fellow to Invest India. So before starting my talk, I would like to take your attention towards this problem that is happening in India mainly, in all over world, but I will mainly focus on in Indian conditions. So India is an agrarian economy. We derive major economy from agriculture. So at the end of the every crop cycle, we are left with lot of residues. So farmers don't have so much of residue management options here. So they have very easy to simply burn those residues in open air. As you can see in this right side area map, these red dots indicate the residue burning sites that are happening after the every crop harvest. So this thing is like we have 141 million tons of residues, crop residues per year generated, and out of that 92 million tons are burned, and rest is used as cattle feed and composted. You can see also that Landsat image and other satellite image. You can see clearly how much smog and smoke is coming out of those agricultural fields. It's creating a lot of problem, health problems. It is creating, it is declining crop yields due to black carbon deposition and all that. So seeing this problem in Indian condition, uh, so before that, I will introduce to you to my institute uh, from where I am working, that is SKUAST Kashmir. So recently, we have a mission at SKUAST Kashmir that we are trying to be innovation-based agriculture, innovation-led farm university in India. So we have been successful till date. Our university had launched various innovation-based programs, and that programs had led to rise of students and innovators like me. So we have found some of the solutions to the current problems in the country. Talking about my specific state from which I am, that is Kashmir, that is the one administrative area from India. We have mainly agriculture economy, horticulture specifically, I will say. So we are producing 14 lakh 86,300 tons of apple residue every year. So farmers don't have also much of the residue options there. They are simply open burning it, as you can see in this figure. They are burning these apple residue in open air and producing lot of smoke all over state, and leading to the loss of so much of nutrients from those residues. You can see these the study that was done by IITM Pune. So it is showing the black carbon content over different months, and you can see the much of the black carbon content at crop harvesting period and after residue burning. So these are available options that we have presently in Indian conditions. They are simply burning, open burning this residue and causing a lot of pollution. And in our Kashmir conditions, they are burning apple prune residue like this. So this is the present problem that is happening in India, pan India, as well as in Kashmir condition. By that residue burning, it is clear, we have PM 2.5 level so much. You can see the darker areas in the Indo-Gangetic plain where we have much of the rice wheat cropping system. And in Kashmir conditions, you can see these from January, February, and December, there is much concentration of PM 2.5 and black carbon content. It's all happening due to residue burning. So there is a clear trend that we have a problem, serious problem here. So technically, what led to that concept that I devised decentralization of waste management. Indian agriculture is different from rest of the world's agriculture. By the point that we have very less farm holding, irrespective of the other areas of the world, they have very large farming size unit. Okay, so from each farm, if I take example of three farmers, normally what is available residue is that From each farmers, they will collect the residue to the central processing hub and convert into further products like biochar, mushroom, and every thing that is available there. But in case of decentralization, what we have done, we are trying to break we are trying to make the equipment that is converting that residue to the final products. We are trying to make it small, uh, so that we can take that individual machine to each farmer, so that he does not have headache of collecting the residue to the central facility, and there will be better execution of residue management at farm level. So there is a concept of decentralization. It means we have to empower farmer itself to convert its residue to the final product, or at least raw products which can be further processed in the processing facility. And by that method, we have found that in Indian conditions, residue management was very effective because of less farm size. So this was the idea behind decentralization of residue management. So this is my route which I have developed over the time in residue management. In Kashmir condition, I will tell you two residues I am working currently on. One is apple prune residue, that is from apple trees, and one is dull weed. We have a lake, famous lake here, Dull Lake. So we are getting so much of aquatic weeds from there. It is Ceratophyllum demersicum. Majority of the weed is like that. So in case of apple prune residue, traditional route is either farmers are using that residue for cooking, or they are using it for heating, or they are simply open burning it. That all operations are leading to more of the carbon footprints and more less energy efficient operations. In our initiative, we have tried to merge these three sectors in a single assembly using system approach, making whole process carbon neutral and sustainable. For that matter, we have developed a multi-purpose automatic pyrolyzer, come heater, come cooker. So this is a specialized type of pyrolyzer for farm size level we have developed. It is a cooker, it's a heater, as well as it's a pyrolyzer. So by that matter, farmer will be convinced to take that equipment at home level, so that initially we have tested in lignolitic residues like apple prune residue. So we have not tried it to rice residue, but we are working to refine it. Maybe we will need some refinements for rice residue. But for apple residues, we have tested it. It's very successful. We have given like to farmers this equipment. They are traditionally burning that residue in chulas, traditional chulas. They are not energy efficient. They are not clean. Farm like rural women are facing respiratory problems due to the less efficient burning of those residues. So we have tried to develop a specialized type of chula, I can say, which is having a pyrolysis facility in it, and out of that we are getting biochar from farmer level to our central facility, and we are trying to convert that biochar to the more refined and processed. And these are the some of the products that we have launched to our startup. We are working on that it and we are trying to market these products. So this is the characterization studies that I have done on these two types of biochar at different temperatures. Using I am using IoT automation in it. We are using Arduino board for automating the process parameters like pressure and temperature. So after having pyrolysis of this residue, so we have characterized it for functional groups, and also for surface characterization using SEM analysis at different scales. So this SEM EDX mapping showing nutrient densities as well as surface area characteristics and nutrient concentration relatively of both biochars. So this is a thermal stability analysis showing differential scanning calorimetry as well as thermogravitic analysis showing the recalcitrance and persistence of biochar that will be happening over the time. These are the some of the snaps that I have taken from our daily field studies. We have applied that biocharts in a three factorial experiment. We have applied without pyrolysis, with pyrolysis at different temperatures, at different rates and with fertilizers and without fertilizers. So using three factorial approach, we have extensively tested this biochar at temperate conditions of Kashmir. So these are the some of the results that I have got from the field studies. This is the soil pH, secondary interactive effect of three factorial experiment. A1 is control. We have not applied anything out of it. A2 is A2 is Apple Biochar 400. A3 is Apple Biochar 400. A2 is residue. A4 is Apple 600. A5 is Dulweed 400. A6 is Dulweed 600, and A7 is simple Dulweed. So this is the interactive effect, interactive means of soil pH over the period of time, and you can see clearly how significantly they are affecting soil pH in temperate. We are having a lot of problem of soil acidity in temperate Himalaya because we are from hilly regions. So there is a leaching of salts which leads to the acidity. There is a biggest problem of soil acidity because it halts soil nutrient availability greatly. So this is a soil EC content because of the leaching, and also we have done some of the studies that biochar has increased rate of biochar has improved leaching, and hence leads to the less salts because of the leaching of the salts to groundwater lower layers. This is a soil CC over the period of time among three factors, and this is a aggregate suitability of different amendments of different size groups. As you can clearly see, over the period of 2 years, it has affected significantly. So this is a field application of biochar, and the maize yield that was actually, we are mainly having rain-fed conditions here. So we have done some of the studies on water availability also. It has mitigated drought during like when we don't have irrigation facility everywhere, so farmers lack those things. They are mainly dependent on rainfall. If rainfall is not there, so their crop will be heavily lost because they don't have irrigation facility. In that case, biochar has helped a lot in mitigating the drought because it conserves a lot of the moisture in the soil. So these are the some of the agronomic evaluation that we have done over the time, and different treatment combinations that I applied. These are the these are crop growth parameters like dry weight, plant height, grain yield, and stover yield among different rates and among different amendments. We have done some mean plots and pairwise comparison of those treatments and how significantly biochar is affecting crop parameters over the time. So this is our work that we have done till now under Himalayan conditions or soil carbon. Himalayas are very important in respect to soil carbon because Himalaya are like it, they are at highest altitude in the world. Mainly, highest altitude peaks are present there. So oxygen and other climatic factors are not normal as compared to other conditions of the world. So soils behave very differently irrespective of the other soils of the world. So we have done some of the key studies on their soil carbon. As this study was recently published, climate plays a dominant role over land management in covering soil dominance. In that, we have assessed that in two climatic conditions, we have assessed soil organic carbon over different land management practices. So we found that climate has played a dominant role over land management practice. So it means in if there is a climate change in future, so land management practices sustainable will not help us more than climate change mitigation itself. So one more study we have done, land use system regulate geochemistry of how much the land use affects soil organic carbon storage under Himalayas. So this is the some of the models we have developed in energy efficient, economically feasible, and environmental robust integrated farming system model for Himalayas. Also, we have done some of the reviews on biochar like effective management on drought tolerance and heavy metal toxicity. We have also done some of the studies on climate change under Kashmir conditions. We have assessed 40 years climatic data, daily minimum temperature, maximum temperature, and rainfall. So this is the other studies on soil carbon dynamics in temperate Himalayas. multi-scale processes influencing global carbon land storage and land carbon climate nexus. So these are the some of the studies that we have done under Himalayan conditions. So whatever our future plans, we are trying to make a biochar based startup. Personally, I think that if we are not able to commercialize our innovation, so it's a waste technically if it's not commercialized, because the basic concept of innovation is that it should reach to its stakeholder. So if it's not commercialized, so it will not reach to its stakeholder, it will be with the scientist in the lab only. It should reach to its stakeholder. For that, startup is a very good option. So we are also planning to do dose optimization of biochar under temperate conditions, because we have different soil organic carbon dynamics as compared to other climatic conditions. So we have to optimize dose under temperate conditions. We are also planning to have long-term application and its effect on soil carbon, because it is not well known in our area. My trial was first field trial in Kashmir conditions on biochar. So much of the things are not known here, so I am very new in this field. So much of the things have to be we have to assess much of the things in the future. Climate change and soil carbon dynamics efflux associated with biochar application. We have to see whether carbon dioxide emissions like priming and all things, we will assess it in future. Validation and testing of prototype in marginal farmers to find out emerging application of biochar under temperate conditions. These are the some of the future plans that we have to work on. So these are my my contacts where you can assess me and contact me. This is a LinkedIn and ResearchGate. You can connect me on that. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, always. Thanks for the great presentation. So we have a couple of questions.
Yeah, sure.
So the first question is, do you pay something for the biomass to the farmers?
Very good question. Actually, I don't pay anything to the. Actually, I have a model. Model is that I will develop pyrolyzer using my startup. From my startup, I will develop pyrolyzer. Okay, I will give that pyrolyzer to the farmer, cluster farmer, and I will sign a MOU with the farmer that when he will give me back biochar to me, from that biochar he will sell to me. I will cut a percentage of the to repay the loan of pyrolyzer from him. Okay. So over the period of that time, he repays the amount of pyrolyzer amount, and also he earns same time from the biochar.
Okay. So yes. So basically the farmer is the operator of the pyrolysis unit.
Yeah. We are also giving them proper training how to operate and what are the precautions to be taken.
Okay. What's the? Do you have a name for the startup?
Yes. Yeah, my startup name is Kashmir Carbazone Private Limited.
Okay. Another question is so yes, the income you mentioned was basically from the sale of the biochar, right?
Yeah. And my startup income is from two things mainly. It's from the sale of the secondary products that I developed from the biochar. I'm not selling biochar as such. I am selling biochar based fertilizers.
Okay, I see.
Like we are making mineral based fertilizers from biochar, as well as I earn money from selling the pyrolyzer itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the cost of a pyrolyzer? Is the pyrolyzer technology finished, or is it still under development? Yeah,
it's finished. It's cost about 40,000 rupees per piece. 40,000 rupees, Indian rupees.
Okay, I see. And is it something that was developed through by you through your team?
Yeah, it's solely my innovation. It's also patented technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, it was developed during my PhD work.
Okay.
Because it was like it was an urgency for me when I thought that I will work on the biochar, but I scanned the market. There was no sustainable pyrolyzer available at India. frankly speaking,
Yes.
because here more of the pyrolyzer, they are not carbon neutral. As per my view, they are burning more residue than producing biochar itself. So it's defeating the whole purpose. Like if you are burning 10 kgs of wood to produce 3 kgs of biochar, so what's the fun of producing biochar?
Well, I guess you cannot produce more biochar than you actually have residue
We
in
have
your.
achieved that. We have achieved that. I will tell you how I have achieved that, because I am fulfilling two more needs from that residue burning. That's cooking and heating. Otherwise, I have to use individually residue from those two faculties. So using a system approach, we are technically using less residue than sequestering or saving.
But ultimately you need to process the biomass, right? And at the end of
Yeah.
the day, the biochar that comes out of this of the process is per weight is less than the biomass itself, correct?
No, I'm not telling that it is less than biomass, biochar. But I am telling technically, if I will do these three activities separately, like cooking, heating, and pyrolysis, under three different banners, okay, under three different enterprises. So technically, I will use 10 kgs in cooking, 10 kgs in heating, and 10 kgs in pyrolysis. So technically, I have to use 30 kgs in whole process.
Mhm.
But under system approach, I am only using 15 kgs, means I am saving 15 kgs.
I see, yes, okay.
That is by that way I am burning less residue than sequestering, either through sequestering by biochar, either by saving through heating.
Okay. And what is the capacity of the pyrolyzer in terms of I don't know, kilograms per hour, either on
uh,
the biochar or on the.
Actually, my pyrolysis tank is like 20 liters, 25 liters in volume basis.
Okay,
So
per hour
we are
or.
generally, farmer is generally doing one operation per day.
Okay.
Mm.
So it's not running constantly, obviously,
No,
because
no, no.
it's
It's need based actually.
okay. Um, and is it internally? Is it a batch system, or is it a continuous system?
No, no, it's a batch system.
Batch system. Okay.
Yeah, it's a batch system.
Okay. And so you've tested it on apple prunes, right?
Yeah, apple prune and dullweed.
Okay.
It's a one aquatic weed.
Yes. Okay. And what were the results of the agronomic studies that you did on the corn, for example?
Yeah. Actually, I will talking about the dullweed. Over the previous 10 to 15 years, scientists from our region are trying to incorporate that aquatic weed directly to the soil, or you via vermicomposting. They are mixing with cow dung, sawdust, and all that. Because over the time it was found that if you will apply raw that aquatic weed to the soil, it destroys soil. We have confirmed it using FTR. It is having hydrophobic groups, functional groups, that
Mhm.
aquatic weed. Because aquatic weeds, majority of the aquatic weeds have a tendency, if we apply raw to the soil, they have a like that layer that repel water out of them, jelly-like substance. So
Okay.
that substance, hydrophobic substance, destroys soil structure if applied as raw without decomposing or without pyrolysis. So in our study, we have found by pyrolysis that effect was mitigated. So this was one of the study, and other study was that aquatic weed is very nutritionally dense, especially in case of micronutrients. So it helped in biofortification of this crops also. In case of apple residue, nutrient content is less than dullweed,
Yeah.
but it improved soil physiochemical properties much because of the much surface area than aquatic weeds. Woody biomass is having very good surface characteristics, so it improved soil physiochemical parameters much better.
Okay. And in your pyrolysis system, um, does it do you use any external fuel, or you basically it's
No, no,
you do you use some oxygen in the system to self power the system?
no, no. Actually, we are using some part of the residue itself as a fuel.
Okay. Okay. And but is there oxygen injection inside the pyrolyzer, or not at all?
No,
Entire
no, no, no.
pyrolysis.
No, no, we are not inserting any inert gas inside it.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's a very that's very feasible to have use inert gases during pyrolysis. But personally, I am thinking that in this farm scale level operations, that might not be so much feasible.
Okay.